Today I'm going to be setting up a bioactive terrestrial enclosure for my tarantula, so let's get started. Welcome to the Tarantula Collective. My name is Richard and I got some rehousing to do. My Theraphosa apophysis, also known as the Pinkfoot Goliath Birdeater, has outgrown its enclosure and it's time to upgrade. Now currently it's in a small enclosure, but it is bioactive. It's outgrown it. It's time to get it set up in something new. But I've had a lot of people ask how I set up my bioactive enclosures, and I got 3 or 4 different ways I do it. So today I'm just going to show you one of the ways. It doesn't mean it's the best way. It's just how I'm doing this one, and you can check my past videos or future videos and see other methods that I use. Now, not all tarantulas need bioactive enclosures. It's mainly just your more moisture dependent species. Theraphosa is one genus that is moisture dependent, and it seems that the larger they get, like the older they get, the more important it is to have that moisture. So that genus in particular, I really prefer keeping in bioactive enclosures. So let's get to work, get this set up, and get this tarantula rehomed. Now for the most part, I have everything that I need right here. I'm going to be using this Tarantula Cribs enclosure that they sent to me for Christmas. I'm pretty excited about that. It's a terrestrial enclosure, has its nice locking lid. It's like a magnetic, I don't know, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets, strong magnets that will lock that into place. So we're going to be using this as the enclosure. Whoa, almost dropped it. And for the false bottom of the enclosure, I'll be using this Zoom Med Laboratories waterfall kit. It's what I didn't use. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff when I set up the bioactive paludarium for my Carabiner Versicolor. I use the waterfall feature in the enclosure, but it's a paludarium, so the bottom of the enclosure is just a water feature that fish are swimming in, so I didn't need a false bottom, but I'm gonna use that for this enclosure. So the first step is gonna be cutting this screen to fit the enclosure. And how I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna set the enclosure on top of the screen, kind of trace it out and cut out the rectangle. Pretty easy. All right, so we got that done. We're just gonna make sure that it fits nicely. Yeah, I think that'll work. That'll work nice. Now the first layer in a bioactive enclosure kind of needs to be the false bottom, and in this case I'll be using hydroballs. But I've seen people use like plastic crating. There's all kind of different things you can use, but I have these hydroballs, so that's what we're going to use today. And it doesn't need to be really deep. I'm probably just going to do like a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of hydroballs in this enclosure because this tarantula really likes to burrow, so I want to make sure I give it plenty of depth and substrate. I put a little too much in there at first, so I cut it back a little bit, but I think this is going to look nice. So next step is we will throw in this screen. What this does is keep the substrate separate from the hydroball so the water can drain through the substrate, get down there, and then kind of like evaporate and go back up. It just keeps the substrate damp, or plenty of moisture in it, without just sitting in water where it would start to rot and just get nasty. Now I just need to add some substrate. I'm going to be using Jungle Mix today. It's one of my favorite substrates, but you can use pretty much any substrate really, except for cocoa fiber. I wouldn't suggest that. But Creature Soil or Jungle Mix, there's what's the other one? Reptis Soil, something like that. There's all kind of substrates out there that's kind of a mixture of a bunch of stuff that would be beneficial. Josh's Frogs has some great bioactive substrates. You can get some from the BioDude. And some bioactive substrates don't require a false bottom. If I was using the BioDude's Terra Arena or whatever it's called, their tarantula substrate, I would not be using a false bottom. But because I'm not using that, I'm going to be using some of this Jungle Mix. I went ahead and opted for that false bottom. But what I will do is mix a bunch of sphagnum moss in with the Jungle Mix, and I'll just kind of help it maintain some of its moisture. Now that I've got the sphagnum moss mixed in there, I'm going to wet it down some, and I didn't fill the enclosure up as high as I normally would with substrate because I'm going to take some of the substrate from its current enclosure and mix it in there as well. Since it's been living in this bioactive enclosure, there's a whole lot of microorganisms, and the soil itself, the substrate itself has really kind of developed its own little ecosystem. So I want to make sure all those little microorganisms I can transplant into this enclosure as well. Of course, there's also springtails and small little dwarf isopods and stuff like that I probably want to carry over to this enclosure too. And now we're going to transfer these plants over in here. So I'm just going to set up exactly where I want to hide and things like that and move the plants over. And I mean, it wouldn't be a Tarantula collective enclosure without a skull. This one's for you, Petco. So now I need to get into the old enclosure, pull out the plants, and move some of that substrate into the new enclosure. Now this is a Theraphosa species. Like I said, it's a Goliath Pinkfoot Birdeater, which has some pretty serious urticating hairs. Now it's not necessary that you always wear gloves or long sleeves or glasses whenever you're interacting with the Theraphosa, but it's not a bad idea. What I'm going to be using are these massive rubber gloves. It's a little bit of an overkill, especially for just a juvenile species, but I gotta do what I gotta do. But these are nice because they cover my entire arm, so even if it kicks some hair at me or I mix them up and throw them up in the air, I don't have to worry about it like getting on my forearms, which I enjoy. Because I've been haired by this species before, and it is not fun. Very itchy, drives me crazy. All right, got the gloves on. Now, just for safety's sake, put on some glasses. But these glasses are really dirty. Jesus. And the only reason to wear glasses, I actually got an email from someone not long ago that Lasiadora periabana had kicked some hairs up, got in her boyfriend's face, and they were afraid some of them got in the eyes. So, it's always better to be safe than sorry. I don't think that this tarantula is gonna be kicking hairs at my face, so I'm not gonna wear them, but I just wanted to show you that sometimes you may want to consider doing it, especially with the Theraphosa species. All right, that plant was pretty well rooted, but I really like it, so I'm gonna move it over here. All right, so we got the plants out of there. Now it's time to move the tarantula. So hopefully this goes smoothly because I just destroyed its old enclosure and I'm sure it's not very happy. It's always amazing how big these tarantulas get. I think they're one size and they end up being almost twice as big as I anticipated. And I moved some of the substrate from its old enclosure into its new enclosure. Not a whole lot, maybe just like a handful or so, but I can see that a lot of springtails have transferred from that enclosure into this one, but just to be safe, I'm going to add a little bit more. Something I like to put in my bioactive enclosures anytime that I'm putting springtails in there is the Kook cuisine. It's this cleanup crew cuisine from the Josh's Frogs. Essentially it gets damp and kind of grows some mold. Plenty of food for your isopods or mainly your springtails. So I'm just gonna throw one of those down in there. And now we're gonna water the plants a little bit.
Yeah, baby. Wonder if all my bad decisions get accounted in the algorithms. No statistician could dissuade me from my bigger vision. I know my occupation's quite an unlikely place in this world to occupy and talk about upon a daily basis. Our information's predetermined by some biased business. We all in sermon to silicon that push out lovely neighbors. I'm done with paper chasing, think I'm on to bigger banquets. This that full circle, new wave, energy on a Tuesday. Turn a blue day to a bright hue, yellow with a smooth A in hair. Extra fruit, the brand, you can't move me. The music is man, it's a con job, but it's grand. Been blessed with a great hand amongst many that stank. And yeah, it took some hard work, but blind luck play a huge role. And if they say that it don't, then they feeding you fool's gold. And if I know one thing, the truth's home. Even if it's a tough thing to swallow, an even harder thing to hold and truly know without a doubt while on the globe. And even though
all right, and that's pretty much it. I want to say thanks to Tarantula Cribs for sending me out this awesome enclosure and the skull and hide, pretty much everything else I used. Awesome Christmas present. If you want to see more videos on my bioactive enclosures, just check out this playlist right here. And if you want to catch up on all my other enclosure builds or do-it-yourself projects, check out this playlist right here. As always, I appreciate you watching. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks for buying Tarantula Collective merchandise, and I will see you next Tuesday.